Hello, everyone, and welcome to my presentation titled Invisible Scars: The Psychological Impact of Parental Imprisonment on Adolescent Identity and Relationships. My name is Roxanne Rooms, and I created this presentation for my capstone, Social on Individual course under the guidance of Dr. Giselle G. Today, we'll explore a deeply personal and socially urgent issue that often goes unnoticed. What happens to teenagers when a parent is incarcerated? The central theme of this presentation is understanding how parental imprisonment affects the mental, emotional, and social development of adolescents. While the incarcerated individual is often the focus of attention, the consequences on their children, particularly teenagers, are frequently ignored. Using psychological theories and peer reviewed research, we'll explore how incarceration does not happen in isolation. It creates waves that deeply wound those left behind. These invisible scars manifest in the emotional lives, social behaviors, academic performance, and identity development of adolescents. Throughout this presentation, we'll apply developmental, social, and clinical psychology to better understand these effects and advocate for change, whether through early intervention, school support, or therapy. The goal is to raise awareness and inspire empathy toward an often forgotten group of young people. In the United States, more than 2.7 million children have parent behind bars. That's one in every 28 children. The statistics become even more troubling when we consider racial disparities. About one in nine Black children has an incarcerated parent. Adolescents are at a uniquely sensitive stage of life. They're navigating transitions in identity, autonomy, and emotional maturity. The sudden loss of a parent to incarceration often adds a layer of trauma, creating a sense of abandonment and shame. These teens may be forced to hide their reality, pretend everything is normal, or face social judgment and isolation. This presentation highlights not only the challenges these young people face, but also how psychological frameworks can help us understand, support, and empower them. It's a call to view incarceration as not just a legal issue, but a family and developmental crisis. Let's begin by defining what we mean by parental imprisonment. It refers to the incarceration of a biological or illegal parent, regardless of the length of their sentence. The experience is often abrupt, confusing, and highly disruptive to the child's life. When a parent is arrested or sentenced, children are typically moved to new homes with relatives, foster care systems, or other unfamiliar settings. These changes destabilize the child's routine and emotional security. Our Diddy 2012 emphasized that this disruption is not just logistical, it represents a profound emotional rupture. Teens may grieve not only the loss of their parents' presence, but also the loss of sense of normalcy, safety, and identity. They may struggle to make sense of why this happened and what it means for their own lives. Often they feel silenced, unable to express their emotions due to stigma or fear or judgment. Eric Erickson's psychosocial theory offers important insight into why parental imprisonment is so harmful to adolescents. Teens are in what Erickson called the stage of identity versus role confusion, a phase when they explore who they are and how they fit into the world. When a parent is removed from their lives due to incarceration, that exploration can be interrupted or distorted. Teens may feel ashamed of their family situation or deeply confused about what it says about them. They may idolize or reject the parent or suppress their feelings entirely. This conflict between loyalty, love, and societal condemnation creates internal turmoil. Without guidance, many adolescents in this situation struggle to develop a stable sense of identity. This can lead to low self esteem, increased susceptibility to peer pressure, and poor decision making. These effects often ripple into young adulthood if not addressed early. Social labeling theory helps us understand how stigma and societal judgment shapes the experience of adolescents with incarcerated parents. Sociologists like Goffman and Linkfallon explain that when someone is labeled by society, especially as a criminal, that label often extends to their family. Teenagers, in particular, are deeply affected by this social label. They may be viewed with suspicion or treated differently at school and in their communities. Even more damaging is when they begin to believe the label themselves. This internalized stigma can lead to a sense of unworthiness or destiny to follow in their parents' footsteps. Over time, this can become a self fulfilling prophecy where the teen behave in ways that match the expectation of others, reinforcing the very stigma that hurt them. Breaking this cycle requires intentional support, positive role models, and an environment where youth feel safe and accepted. School is often described as a second home for adolescents. It's where they spend most of their days and where their social lives largely unfold. For teens with incarcerated parents, school can be both a refuge and a battleground. Some face bullying, teasing, or isolation when their peers learn about their parents' imprisonment. Others choose to remain silent, hiding their pain for fear or being judged. Teachers may make assumptions, lowering expectations, or disciplining more harshly due to stereotypes. Zalaria found that children in this group are more likely to experience academic difficulties and peer rejection. But the good news is that schools can also be powerful spaces for healing. Trauma informed teaching, peer support programs, and confidential counseling service can help students process their emotions and feel seen. A single supportive adult in a school can make a profound difference in a teen's life. The emotional consequences of parental imprisonment are often invisible but severe. Research by Murray and Farrington shows that adolescents with incarcerated parents are significantly more likely to develop mental health challenges, especially depression, anxiety, and behavioral issues. These teens may experience mood swings, social withdrawal, or episodes of anger and defiance. Unfortunately, these signs are more often misinterpreted as bad behavior rather than cries for help. The lack of understanding from adults, both at home and in school, can deepen the sense of isolation. Without proper mental health support, the teen may struggle in silence, sometimes turning to substance use, self harm, or risky behavior to cope. Recognizing the mental health toll and providing timely intervention is critical for preventing lifelong psychological harm. Developmental psychology teaches that the adolescent is a critical period for brain and emotional development. During this time, teens begin to form independence, explore moral reasoning, and develop long term goals. But when a parent is in prison, that development is also often disrupted. Some teens are forced into adult roles, caring for younger siblings, working jobs, or supporting overwhelmed guardians. Others become emotional frozen, struggling to trust or form secure relationships. Solomon highlights how parental separation at this stage can permanently alter emotional regulation and interpersonal skills. These developmental setbacks don't just resolve on their own, they require guidance, therapy, and stable relationships to heal and catch up. Social psychology helps us explore how adolescents are shaped by their environment and social interactions. A key concept here is stereotype threat. The fear of confirming a negative belief others may have about you. Teens with incarcerated parents may feel constantly watched or judged. They might believe that others expect them to act out, fail in school, or end up in trouble. This anxiety affects their behavior and academic performance. Some withdraw or stop participating in class. Others may lash out to preempt judgment or rejection. This creates a feedback loop, reinforcing society's low expectation. To disrupt this cycle, it's vital to create environments that promote positive reinforcement, high expectation, and a belief in each teen's potential, regardless of their family background. Thankfully, psychology provides us with both understanding and tools for intervention. Trauma informed care is essential for adolescents dealing with parent imprisonment. This approach recognizes the effects of trauma on brain development, emotional regulation, and behavior. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with this teen?" professionals are trained to ask, "What has this teen been through?" Individual and group therapy can be effective, especially when it offers a safe, non judgmental space to express feelings. Therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, expressive arts therapy, and mentorship programs help teens process their emotions and develop coping strategies. Programs such as Amachi pair children of incarcerated parents with adult mentors who offer consistency, empathy, and positive role modeling. Even Sesame Street, known for its inclusive programming, developed material specifically for children dealing with incarceration, including videos, storybooks, and tools for parents and caregivers. These resources validate the children's feelings and normalize conversation around incarceration, helping to break the cycle of silence and shame. This presentation ties directly into our course's theme, applying psychological theories and methods to real world issues. Parental imprisonment is not only a legal or social concern, it's a deeply psychological crisis that impacts developmental identity and well being. Through developmental psychology, we examined how teens' growth is disrupted. Through social psychology, we explored the power of labels and social expectations. Through clinical psychology, we saw how trauma can be addressed and how healing is possible. By bringing together these branches of psychology, we can see the full complexity of the issue. It also shows us how psychology is not just an academic field, but a tool for advocacy and change. When we apply what we learn in classrooms to the experiences of vulnerable populations like teens with incarcerated parents, we begin to create more compassionate systems and more just communities. So, what do we hope to achieve by raising awareness of this issue? First, we want visibility. Many teens living with parental incarceration feel forgotten or invisible. By shining a light on their stories, we let them know that they're not alone and not to be blamed. Second, we need early and consistent intervention. Schools, mental health services, and community programs must be equipped to identify these students and support them before emotional wounds deepen. Training educators, counselors, and social workers to recognize the signs of trauma related to incarceration is a critical first step. Third, we must challenge the stigma. These adolescents are often labeled, judged, or written off. In truth, they are resilient and capable, but like anyone, they need support, validation, and opportunity. By combining awareness, intervention, and empathy, we can begin to break cycles of trauma and incarceration and instead build cycles of support, growth, and healing. Throughout this presentation, I've drawn upon requested psychological research and literature to support our discussion. Here are some of the foundation sources. These references have guided the framework, content, and solutions discussed in this project. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch and engage with my presentation. As we've seen, the psychological impact of parental imprisonment is vast, affecting how adolescents see themselves, relates to others, and navigate the world. While these scars may be invisible to many, they are deeply felt by the young people who carry them. My hope is that this presentation has helped humanize their experience and shown how psychological insight can lead to meaningful change. Whether through individual support, school based intervention, or national advocacy, we each have a role to play in seeing and supporting these youths. I now welcome any questions or thoughts you'd like to share, and I'll close with this reminder: every child deserves to be seen, heard, and supported always.